welcome to the In Her Skein Knitting Podcast. My name is Maria and I'm coming to you from the northeastern part of Italy. And yeah, I've been a bit MIA lately. I mean, I've still been active a little bit on Instagram, but I wanted to come on here earlier and I just didn't get around to it, mainly because I wasn't feeling well, because it's been very warm here. And yeah, maybe I can save the details for the end. Maybe I do a bit of a knit and chat. But yeah, I was finally feeling better this week, so I thought I would come on here to share a few of the things that I've been working on. So we have two finished objects from the same pattern that I'm working on. I have been swatching for a dress project for the fall. I have a new sock on my needles. I have another sock swatch to share with you. And a few other things, but yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing that I have is this vest that I've talked about before, and it's finally finished. I think last time I just had the hem to finish or to redo because it was like flaring a bit, and so I redid it with the correct pickup rate this time, and now it's lying perfectly flat. So this is what it looks like. And the second one that I'm going to show you is a bit different, so I'll talk to you just briefly, I guess, through it, because my plan is to have a test knit call for this at the end of the month, so I'll get more into details on this project when the time comes. But just quickly, I have two samples, and this vest is worked sideways. So you start here by casting on the stitches for the front and for the back, so it's quite long on the needles for this section while you work the shoulders, the shoulder increases, and then you split, so you work the front separately, the back separately, while you shape the neckline both at the front and at the back. Then you join it again here to work the right shoulder, and with little scalloped edges, which are basically modified picot edges. So you end up with like this piece of fabric like that you then join afterwards with underarm panels. So you can see here that for this version it's very cropped. I made this one to be able to wear it with like high-waisted skirts or pants or over dresses for the fall, and it's 100% wool, and the armholes are quite deep. I don't know, I'm not gonna put it on because it's very warm, but you can see here that like compared to what I'm wearing, which has like a pretty small armhole to be honest, compared to what I'm wearing, there's quite a bit of difference. Like the armhole hits much lower, and that was wanted because I wanted something that I can wear over garments, dresses, tops that have like very puffy sleeves, that the sleeve like comes up to there, because I have a lot of those dresses, tops in my wardrobe, and I have made a vest before, just one, and I don't wear it because what I would typically wear it with, the sleeves are too big, so it doesn't, like, it feels too tight in the arm and it doesn't look nice. So I wanted a very deep armhole like this. But I also know that it's not ideal, and I also wanted this to be quite versatile because of a pattern, because I think it would make also a nice summer top. So that is what I did for my second version. So this one is made in Brusca by Rosa Pomar, which is a 100% Portuguese wool blend. I don't remember exactly what is inside, but it's quite rustic. And also another reason that I wanted to use it for a vest is that it's very nice, but I don't think I could wear this next to skin. For me, it's a bit too scratchy, so putting it over dresses and tops is perfect. So yeah, 100% wool for this version. And the other one that I made is in cotton. And I have them folded so you can see the creases, but this is the second version. So it's a DK cotton. It's the Daruma Knitting Cotton, I think it's called. But yeah, it's just like your typical DK weight cotton. And this one, I don't know if you can see, I'll try to after put them side by side. Or I'll put a picture actually, because I did take a picture to show you. This one is longer, so I can wear it with pants, also with skirts. It's not long. Like in the pattern, I refer to this as the regular length versus the other one is the cropped length. The cropped length really hits at the waist, or for me anyways, at my height. And the longer version, so the regular version, is I think like 2.5 inches longer. So it's not long. Like if I stand up, like my waist is here and my belly button is like here. So yeah, but I wanted something that I could still wear over pants or skirts, but that wasn't too long. And the armhole on this one is a bit less deep, so that you can wear it with nothing underneath, just your bra, and you will see the bra on the side. And the other difference with this one is that it has less positive ease. So the underarm panel is a bit less wide, and that's also another feature of the design. I'll explain it next time, but basically picking a size is a bit different that you would normally do for a regular knitting pattern. But it allows you to customize your bust circumference. So there's 10 sizes in the pattern, and you can basically choose any ease that you want from 0 to 10 centimeter or 0 to 4 inches of positive ease. So it's quite customizable. And yeah, I think that's about it. I think if I put them one on top of each other, we'll be able to see. This one is, the cream one is a bit longer. And I am not wearing it today because it's a bit too warm. I think for me this won't be really like a summer piece, more like a spring and beginning of fall piece, because where I live it is quite warm. But yeah, I'm very happy with it, and I filmed a tutorial from start to finish with this version, so that eventually, if you follow the pattern, there is like a step-by-step video that will come with this pattern. And I am putting the finishing touches on the pattern, and I can't remember if I already mentioned this at the beginning, but my goal is to put out a test knit call towards the end of the month, so the end of July, and start a test knit for this mid-August. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. Alright, and I guess I won't do like all my FOs, all my whips in that order. I'll just go now with the next garment project that I have planned, which is a dress for the fall and the winter. And I think I've shown you last time this swatch. So I was swatching with 2 Holst Garn yarns. So this cone of Holst Garn Soft, which is 100% wool, and it's the shade Tobacco. So it's a very nice brown, and it has, I don't know if you can see on camera, but it does have some little flecks. It's like almost tweedy in some places. So you have different colors blended together, which is very nice. And I'm holding it together with the Holst Garn Lucia, which is like a kind of mohair alternative. It has yak and alpaca and 2 other fibers in it. It's very soft. So together it looks like this. And I am knitting this on 4mm needles, and it's going to be for a dress project. So it's going to be, you know, not a quick project, but I am very much looking forward to this. I've had this dress in my mind for a very long time, and I think it's been there for so long that it has evolved a little bit. At first I wanted to do some Estonian inlay on the sleeves, but I think that I will keep for a sweater eventually. Let's see. But yeah, so, and then the next idea was just to do it like very simple, so like no stitch pattern on it at all. But then I had another vision and I thought it would be nice to have it look like a, you know, those blouses, I'll put inspiration pictures with, what do they call it? It's like lace trim, I guess. So like sewn blouses with lace trim that you can put like vertically or horizontally. So I had something like this in mind, and I started swatching with a few different lace patterns, but there was nothing that really was doing it for me, like for my vision. And then I found a YouTube tutorial for like a stitch pattern that was like an all over stitch pattern, and I thought it was cool, and I was like, oh, like let's try to, like, let's see if I can do like columns of that instead of like all over. So this is what I swatched, and I actually took some b-roll of these things, so I'll show that to you so that I don't have to reach like that. But yeah, so it's this very nice little stitch pattern that is created with some purl stitches, and then you're also like making like clusters of yarn overs and then like knitting those together. And so it's only a 4-row repeat, and I think the first time you do it, it's a bit confusing, but if this makes it into a pattern, of course, I'll have a video tutorial, and I think that like after you do it a few times, it becomes very easy and fun. So yeah, I'm excited about this. I really like how it looks, because it looks a little bit like lace, just because there are some like technically some elongated stitches, so that creates kind of like little holes, but it's not too holy, so like if it's on a dress, like you won't see through, which is another thing that I like about this, and pairing this pattern to a dress. So this was my first swatch for the motif, and then I swatched this because I want like some that go vertically like this, but then also at the waist, and also probably at the hems, and like everywhere where you would usually have ribbing, I think I would like also to have that stitch pattern horizontally. So I swatched to have them like cross each other to see what it would look like, and I really like it. And the issue is that it's very dark, so I don't know if you can really see very well. And because of that, I was thinking maybe I need to choose a different yarn, but I still really envision this dress in brown, and I have the yarn already, so I think it's best if I just go for it. And then I already swatched with a lighter color to make sure that I like the stitch pattern, because it's quite difficult to see here, and I want to make sure that it looks good in a lighter color if someone wants to make a garment in a lighter color. And by doing so, I realized that there's a few places where I probably need to tweak a few things just to make it look like exactly what I had in mind, but this is what it looks like in a lighter color. Okay, I'm very excited about this. I can't wait to get started, but what is stopping me is, one, I want to like get everything done for the vest pattern, this one, and to send it to tech editing before I cast on this project, just to like get it over with so that I don't get confused, or maybe not confused but overwhelmed maybe. But yeah, I can't wait to get started. But another thing that is stopping me is I don't know exactly what kind of construction I'm going to do. I know that I want it to be like an A-line skirt type of thing, and with a little bit of like bust / waist shaping, but still have it a bit with positive ease. I don't want it to be like super form-fitting. But the issue is that with this pattern, I'm just not sure how to do the shaping at the back / around the shoulders, because I could go to my go-to technique, which is like you cast on a little bit of the shoulder at the back, a little bit of the other shoulder to like shape them and get your like back neckline shaping, and then you join those two little pieces together. But I've done that already for the floret top and also for my Orma cardigan. So I'm not sure if I want to try to push myself a little bit to try a new construction, or if I stick to that because I know it's going to work. To be determined. Let's see. But yeah, I am very eager to cast on this project. And I was thinking, because I swatched with the yarn that, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll probably remember, I think I showed it, it was like the yoke of a sweater where you had like two different lace panels going down here, and I wanted to do some waist shaping, and then for a few reasons I let that design go. I put it on the side because one, the waist shaping was going to be a bit complicated with what I had in mind for that one, and there was also another design that came out that was very similar to what I was working on, so it like came out at the same time, and so I thought it's probably best if I just do something else with that yarn. And I think that this would be a good compromise, I guess, because it would still have the like essence of what I had in mind before, but so essentially I would make like the dress but cut it to have it like a sweater length, which would make it, I think, a little bit like peplum-y, like what I had in mind before. So we shall see, but I think I like that idea of offering the option to work it just as a sweater, so that if people don't want to knit, you know, a dress, you can just knit it as a sweater. So I don't know, I think I'm going to probably start the dress first and then I'll work this version later, if it still fits with the plan. Let's see. Yeah, so that's it for the garments that I am working on or about to work on. And then I guess I'll jump into the sock section. I have one new sock on my needles. I have one sock pattern that is currently in testing. That one is a secret project, so I can't show it to you. It's gonna come out next April, so I'll share it to you then. And then, yeah, I have another swatch for another project. Oh, and I don't think I've shown these to you. I made tiny socks for my nephew, who is now born. Got to meet him the other day. He's very cute. And so I gifted already the dinosaur sweater with those little socks, so I don't have them with me, but I took pictures, so I'll put that here. And I essentially followed, I think it's a free pattern. I think it's called Petits Pieds by Marie-Christine Lévesque, that I had in my library for a long time. I don't think I ever made them. But yeah, so it's a free sock pattern for newborn socks. And so since he was born now, during the summer, I wanted to make socks that would fit during the winter, so I cast on, I think, like 4 more stitches than the pattern recommended and made it a bit longer. And now I'm crossing my fingers that it's going to fit, because he was born quite big. So let's see. But yeah, and then so after I finished those, I was swatching a lot for a new sock pattern. If you remember, in probably like my last 3 or 4 episodes, I was talking about this yellow sock with little flowers on it that I was knitting on during my honeymoon, and I liked it, but it was not like, I wasn't in love with it. And so, I don't know, I was hesitating, like, do I continue? Do I just knit it in a different color? Because the color was out of my comfort zone, and I think that's part of why it didn't feel like me. But then, I don't know, I just decided to scrap it for now. It's in a bag somewhere that I don't want to see for now, and we'll think about it later. But yeah, so I wanted to kind of like go off that idea, and I really like the cuff that I made for those socks. So I wanted, and the cuff is a bit like textured, it's like, it's not exactly a broken rib, but kind of. So I wanted to do something like that, and so the broken ribness of it all kind of inspired this like texture that I'm working on this one. And then I also wanted to do lace flowers, but I think something that didn't look great in the yellow sock that I was working on was the elongated stitches. So I decided to not go with the elongated stitches and just do lace flowers inside this like textured motif. So I'll try to show you what it looks like, and it's actually, like, if you look at it up close in person, I think it looks really good, but it's quite difficult to really see the flowers, and maybe I'll put some B-roll, but this is what it looks like. And I blocked this portion and this one is not blocked, so I think that blocking does help it. And I think that once I wear it, like, I think you can see, like, it's a flower with 6 eyelets, but I think that, like, when you just see it like that, it doesn't really look like a flower, more like a leaf maybe. I think it's so cute, but yeah, let's see what happens with this one. And the yarn that I'm using is, I think I talked about it before, is the Karlie Paige Fibre Coat BFL sock, and I'm really enjoying working with it. I'm working it on 2.25, I think, millimeter needles, yes, which is what, US 1. And I used to always work my socks on 2.5, but now that I work with a lot more natural yarns without nylon, I find that it's much better to go down the needle size to make a tighter fabric, just to make sure that it's a bit stronger. And with this one also, I think I started off with 2.5 because just by looking at the yarn I thought it would be fine with the 2.5, but it's like, and I don't know if it's the yarn or the stitch pattern, but it's like very elastic, which is good for a sock that has negative ease. But yeah, with my regular size needles it was looking like way too like droopy, so I restarted with a smaller needle and I like the look of it better. So yeah. Oh, and it's so warm here that, and this is, I don't think this is a yarn issue at all, because I had this issue with other yarns, all hand dyed. I don't know if that has something to do with it, because I've had the same issue with commercial yarns before. But anyways, I think it's so warm that the yarn, like the dye, bleeds on my hands. It's crazy. Like, I've never experienced this, and I've seen, because it was very warm in the past like 3 weeks, and this week it's a bit better, and this week it bleeds less. And again, I don't think it's this particular yarn. It happened with other yarns that I was swatching with, so yeah, it's very, very warm. Okay, and then the last one. So I have 2 different Colorwork sock projects in mind. One I think is going to be a collaboration with a yarn dyer, so I am just waiting on that. I made a swatch, but I think I'll wait to show it to you. It's also flowers, but different than this one. This one is, I don't know, sometimes I like to give myself random challenges, which is strange probably, but I'm nerdy like that. I wanted to see if I could create a colorwork chart with flowers that only, like it's a multiple, like a repeat of 4 stitches. So because when you're designing socks, having 4 stitches is like a multiple of 4 stitches is really good, just because of how socks are traditionally designed. I don't think that made any sense, but if you're a very experienced sock knitter or a sock designer, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I wanted to challenge myself to make a stitch motif on 4 stitches, so very small flowers. And I think I succeeded. I have since changed the chart a little bit after swatching, but look at what it looks like. It's so cute. Don't know if you can see well, but it's just tiny, tiny flowers. And yeah, now I'm like excited to finish this sock so that I can move on to this one. But yeah, this is probably going to be my vacation knit when we go to the mountains in a few weeks. Yeah, because I think I will probably finish those before. Let's see. Wait, very excited about this. Very, very cute. If I do say so myself. And for, I think I talked about, yes, I talked about the yarn for this one. For this one, the yarn is from Forests and Meadows. It's a lady who dyes. She has, I don't know exactly if that's how she calls it, but like I would say a natural dye studio. She does a lot of natural dyeing, and you can buy her natural dyes on her Etsy or her website, but she also sells naturally dyed yarns. So some time ago I ordered quite a lot because it's also very affordable, in my opinion. And yeah, I don't remember the prices, but she sells 50-gram skeins, and I think they're probably 20-gram mini skeins. And I had an idea for like a stripy sock at some point, so I ordered a lot of minis. And then I also ordered these 2 colors because I wanted to use them together in a sock, and I swatched many times and it wasn't turning out how I had envisioned. So they were just waiting in my stash patiently. And you should see my desk, like in my little studio I have like all my yarn, and then I have my desk, and whenever I have an idea I like just grab the yarn, swatch, and then I have like a mess of yarn. It's just like everywhere. But sometimes it's very good because I see like color combinations that I would not thought about putting together. Like I see them together, I'm like, oh, this would be very nice, and then that sparks an idea. So that's what happened here with this sock. So yeah, they were not meant to be worked together, but I really like them together. So I think they will become that project. And other than that, let's see, I have the skirt that I'm wearing is a skirt that I made with the Japanese cotton, like embroidered cotton that I bought on my trip there. And I think I bought, it was either 1.5 or 2 meters of that fabric when we were there, and I wanted to make a skirt, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. So I had this vision for a skirt with, so basically I just took like the whole width of the fabric and gathered it and made a waistband, and it has a zipper on the side. So I think I had like one little rectangle left over after making the skirt, so I used everything that I had, which I'm very pleased about. And I'm really also happy about how I like seamed it on the side, because it's like a scalloped edge like this. And it just so happened that where they cut it in the store, it was like a perfect match to to sew together, to like not interrupt the little ruffle. I don't know if you can see, but the seam is here and looks quite nice if you ask me. And inside, this is what it looks like. I just like folded this piece here so that you don't see it from the outside. But yeah, I was very happy with this matching situation here. And yeah, I feel like it's giving a little bit too much Little House on the Prairie vibes. I think I haven't figured out yet like how to style it. Like today I'm wearing it with this like store-bought little brown top. And I think it looks nice, but I think that the dark on top maybe is not optimal. But yeah, for now it's fine. But I have, like, making the skirt, like I thought it would go well with everything in my wardrobe, but it's not really the case, I guess. But it did spark an idea for a summer design that will probably only happen next year, but yeah, I'm keeping it in mind to be able to wear it with the skirt. Let's see. And I think that is it for today. Oh, I also made some linen PJ pants that I've worn already, so you can see that they are quite wrinkled. But I cut out this fabric, I think last summer, and I just never got around to making these shorts. I think these are the Tula pants by Paper Cut Patterns, which I've made a few times before. I think always as PJ pants, this time as shorts. And yeah, I like them. It's a linen that I got from a little market in Austria when we were there a few summers ago, 2 or 3 summers ago already. And it was the year that the Barbie movie came out, and that's why I picked that color. But yeah, so it makes very, very nice PJ. I have also the fabric for the top. I think I've shared that on the podcast before, and it was like way too short. Like I don't know what happened when I cut it, but it was wrong. So maybe I'll finish it one day, probably next year, because I guess that's what I do now. I start a sewing project and I finish it the year after. Let's see. But yeah, now that is it for today. I hope that you are enjoying the summer. As I mentioned in the beginning, I have been struggling a lot, and I don't know if you can relate. I'm sure some of you will, but when it gets warm, I think I have low blood pressure, and so when it gets warm, I get super weak, and it's like definitely not normal. I went to the doctor yesterday, and it was a man, and he was, oh yeah, like everyone that comes here, like they're all weak, like it's normal for the summer. And I was like, this is not normal. Like, I don't know. I won't go into that too much because it's gonna make me, maybe it will actually raise my blood pressure. Maybe that's a good thing. But yeah, I haven't been feeling well when it's very warm, and I think that has caused also my mental health to suffer, because I can't like do the things that I would like to do. Like it's summer, I want to go out, I want to go explore, I want to, you know, do all these things. But like when I'm weak, I am so weak that like I couldn't even knit some days. So that has been interesting. Now with that doctor's appointment, I have to go take a blood test, so we shall see. It's probably like an iron deficiency thing, but yeah, hopefully we can find a solution, because I don't want to spend the rest of the summer just doing a thing on the couch. So yeah, if you are also struggling with something similar or other health related things, I feel for you. I don't know, it's kind of strange to talk about it, but I'm sure a lot of people can relate. It's not fun. And yeah, I feel like I'm finally like coming out of that little depressive episode. I'm just trying to stay positive, and also the way that I do this is by focusing on my knitting, and my head is like exploding with ideas. So I am very grateful to have this as a hobby, and yeah, I hope that it also brings you some comfort if you are going through difficult or annoying times like that. And yeah, I guess I will see you probably in like 2 or 3 weeks, because at the end of the month I am aiming to release the floret top pattern on July 31st, and probably at the same time I will have a test knit call for the vest, and maybe even for these socks. So if you're interested in any of those tests, stay tuned, and yeah, until next time, bye bye.